Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to everyone. So today I would like to share with you with the part number 4 or topic number 4 for our international business course. Okay, right now if you have ebook, you can turn to page 132. Okay, 132. Okay, chapter 4, economic development of nations. Right, let's start with the aid of slide. So right now, okay, this is starting or the beginning of our discussion. Okay, economic development of nations. Last topic we already touched regarding on political economy of nation. Okay, we already talked about political structure, condition on one's country, and how this structure may affect our business activity, our policy drafting, and our operation, especially when we talk about something that relate our how to bring our culture in home country to the host country, and how what happened in the host country that we can adopt or adapt or even avoid if according to what we intend to. Okay, so this chapter talking about economic development of nation, which is this is what we're looking for. Actually, you can discuss after you go through this chapter. Okay, how economic development of one nation, and you can explain, okay, what are the state of one's country development status. Okay, so we will know our own country classify as what kind of economic category. Okay, so second, you can describe economic transition and its main obstacle. What are the factors that hinder uh, a country not to going further? Maybe some because of some political structure that we discussed before, or anything else that may give also uh, contribution which avoiding this country to develop. Okay, the third one, you can outline the various sources of political risk. Okay, explain how companies can manage political risk, and we took two examples. Okay, China and Russia. Okay, how they experience the economic transition. Okay, so hopefully you have the ebook. If don't, please do ask me for a copy of ebook. All right. Okay, let's go. All right. This is an example of India's tech king. Okay, the information system company, which is a global provider of IT services. So most, if you do not know, okay, most of IT advances actually come from India. Okay, where they are very uh, prominent in this industry. Okay, example on page 133 here. Okay, it was founded in 1981. Only $250 capital. So this company, the top provider of information technology services, which is comprised in it 160,000 employee uh, and can earn up to 8.25 billion for their revenue. This is a very, very huge company. So as China drove down prices worldwide in manufacturing, as you know, China dominant in producing a product with a cheaper cost or very lowest cost ever, and later affect the price in the market. Okay, so these two countries follow two distinct paths of development. Okay, where China developed its economy by throwing open its door to investment, open up, but India's commitment to free market was ambiguous and made international companies worry. So India has underwent organic growth and spawned homegrown from knowledge-based industry such as Infosys. Okay, for example. Right. So don't waste our time here because you can read on your own. Okay. All right. Okay, the economic development. So as an entrepreneur, when you want to invest in some country, you should know a bit how does companies categorize as well. Okay, so we have four categories or four class countries that classify into these four. All right, in terms of their economic development, first we consider as a developed countries. What is developed countries? Okay, highly industrialized and highly efficient. Okay. All right, highly industrialized and highly efficient, and whose people enjoy a high quality of life. Okay, they are called as a developed countries. All right. So in these countries, they usually receive the finest health care and benefit from the best educational system in the world. So actually, there are benchmarks which determine your healthcare system, your education system is the best. So if you surpass the benchmark, means you qualify or you call it as a recognized the best education system. So and also this kind of country, okay, not only focus on their particular welfare, their own particular welfare, but also looking forward to have other countries, the poorest countries, to develop, and they contribute so many, or we pump so many investment in order to make that country better. Okay. For example, country that categorized as a developed country is Australia, Canada, Japan, New Zealand, the United States, and also all Western European nation. Okay, this is an example that you can take, call them as developed countries. Okay, how about second group or second category? It's called as a newly industrialized country. Okay, the second one. Okay, this kind of country increase the portion of their national production export derived from industrial operation. So they are moving forward their economy more on industrialized. Okay. So this country located primarily in Asia, Latin America. Okay. For example, such as Hong Kong, South Korea, Singapore, and Taiwan. Okay. Brazil, China, India, Malaysia also in this category. So we are newly an industrialized country. Okay. Another country call it as emerging. Okay. Emerging market. All right. To differentiate this emerging market, is a combination, which is one is newly industrialized and half of them we call it as consider as become newly industrialized. Okay, newly industrialized and become. So it's going to be newly industrialized country, but still not yet up to that. So they call as an emerging market. Okay. So generally, emerging market have developed some of the operation and export capability associated with the newly industrialized country. Mean here they starting towards to industrialize or to export their expertise. Okay, start as a newly industrialized country. So in other term we call it as an IC. Okay, so that's why they call emerging market, right? So another one is developing countries. Developing countries, which is the the poorest one, okay, and lowest personal income for developing countries. Okay, or in other term, we use as a less developed countries. So countries rely heavily on one or few sector of production, such as agriculture, mineral mining, or oil drilling. I mean, they cannot have few industry played in the same country. So they are because sometimes a factor of political structure itself, political of one's country itself, and also the resources available for the nations. Okay, so this is four types of countries classified to that to indicate the state of their economic development. So to memorize it, we have developed, which is advanced. Okay, in terms of the healthcare, everything good, and most of them looking towards help others, which is help less developed country to develop. Newly industrialized, actually, they already uh, having export capability. Okay, export and emerging market still makes moving towards NIC. Okay, and lastly is less developed country or developing country, which is struggling. Okay, focus heavily on one industry rather than having lots of industry in that country. Okay, all right. So national production, still in this topic. National production, the popular indicator of economic development of one country is gross domestic product and also gross national product. Okay. What is a gross domestic product? Which is the value for all goods that services produced by a domestic economy over 1 year period. Okay. So GDP is a narrower figure than gross national product, which is exclude nation income generated from export, import, and the international operation of its companies. Okay. The country GDP per capita is simply its GDP divided by its population to measure a nation income per person. Okay, we had a map 4.1, which is acquired from the World Bank, classify countries according to gross national income per capita. A measure that is similar to gross national per capita. So GDP looking for anything that done domestically. However, to look as a whole, we can we use as a indicator gross national product. Okay. Okay. So what are the drawbacks of this two indicator or two measure? Measurer. Okay. Right, first drawback for GDP and GNP, okay, domestic and national product. Okay, first uncounted transaction. Okay, uncounted transaction. Many of nation transactions do not get counted in either GDP or GNP. Okay, for example, activities that does not include in this discount. Okay, first the volunteer work, unpaid household work. Okay, illegal activities such as gambling and black market transaction, which is not registered, and unreported transaction conducted in cash. Okay, some we acquire the information actually whatever written or documented according to the bank. So if you have done some transaction using cash and not involving bank as a saving channel, so that cash not count as a, we call it as a production of one country. Okay. All right. Second is question of growth. Okay. The question of growth. Okay. Gross product figures do not tell us whether a nation economy is growing or shrinking. Okay. They are simply a snapshot of 1 year's economic output. Okay. Manager will want to supplement this data with information on expected future economic performance. So a nation with moderate GDP or GNP figure can attract more investment if its expected growth rate is high. So we don't know. That's why some people argue, okay, regarding on the growth of country. Okay, in current issue, we heard about how does a country can improve for 2021 year. Okay, so it's very questionable because there's no proof to show unless having essential job to look in depth the potential of growth, then we know this country have potential for inviting investment from outside. Okay, third, problem of averages. Okay, so recall that per capita numbers give an average figure for an entire country. So these numbers are helpful in estimating national quality of life, but average doesn't give a very detailed picture because we took average, okay, the aggregate numbers. We didn't take as a specific group, okay, and it might be there are portion that indicate still poor population exists in that particular country. So urban area, okay, in most countries are more developed and have higher per capita income than the rural area. But case of Malaysia, okay, in case of Malaysia, we don't look only at the urban, saying that urban have high per capita in terms of their income. Actually, we found some poor in urban area, okay, and some of call it as richer reside in the rural area. Okay, so it might not suitable and quite argumentative. Okay, so in less advanced nation, region near good harbor or other transportation facility are usually more developed than interior region. Okay, likewise, an industrial park that boasts company with advanced technology in production or design can generate a disproportionate share of countries. So last one for drawback of GDP and GMP. So pitfalls, pitfalls of comparison. Okay, the country using gross product figures, okay, can be misleading. When comparing gross product per capita, the currency of each nation being compared must be translated into another currency unit at official exchange rate. Okay, as an example, officially we use a dollar. Okay, but official exchange rate only tells us how many units of one currency it takes to buy one unit of another. So they do not tell what that currency can buy in home country. Therefore, to understand the true value of a currency in its home country, we apply the concept of purchasing power parity. Okay, yes, we cannot explain our production in dollar and giving picture either we growth or shrink, because the currency issue also makes all the information questionable and can be argued. All right. Okay. So purchasing power. So value of goods and services that can be purchased with one unit of country's currency. Okay. If you have maybe a month 2,000. Okay. What you can do with 2,000 earning for your living. Okay. If you have 3,000 in hand to dispose, that the level of your purchasing power. If you do have only 5 ringgit in hand, that's your purchasing power, either high or low. Okay, so purchasing power parity, in short form we call it as a PPP. Okay, relate the ability to two countries' currency to buy the same basket of goods in those two countries. Okay, we took some example here. Okay, we compare the wealth of several countries to that of the United States by adjusting GDP per capita to reflect PPP. So if we convert Swiss fund, okay, to dollars at official exchange rate, we estimate Switzerland GDP per capita is 47,900. It is higher than the official GDP per capita of the United States, which is 39,700. By adjusting Switzerland GDP per capita for PPP gives us a revised figure 34,700, which is lower than US GDP. Okay, why the difference? Why is there a difference? Okay, so GDP per capita at PPP, okay, is lower in Switzerland because of that nation higher cost of living. It simply costs more to buy the same basket of goods in the Switzerland than it does in United States. So the same amount, the same value to spend, same amount produce, or same amount of inside the basket. Okay, in a okay, compared to one country more, it simply costs more to buy the same basket of goods in Switzerland than it does in the United States. So more money needs to buy more same amount of food if you buy in United States. So the opposite phenomenon occurs in case of the Czech Republic, because the cost of living there lower than United States. So Czech Republic rise from 10,600 to 18,600 with PPP is considered. Okay, we discussed PPP is greater detail in chapter 10, so we go in detail later. Okay, human development. All right. Human development, okay, we have some measurement here. We call it as a Human Development Index by United Nations. Okay, it is for the purpose to measure of the extent to which a government equitably provides its people with a long and healthy life, okay, and education, a decent standard of living. Okay, they have three things that uh, factors. Okay, we call it as a long and healthy life, education, and decent standard of living. This is indicator, okay, which United Nations put as a measurement. Okay, the economic transition. Okay, the economic transition. So this is a process by which a nation changes a fundamental economic organization and creates a new free market institution. So it's a movement in one country to change their economy to something better, or something to giving advantage, okay, to this country. So 2 decades over, countries with centrally planned economies have been remaking themselves in the image of stronger market economy. What are they? Who are whose company? What countries that changed their economy from centrally planned? Okay, we have already discussed about centrally planned. What kind of country? Which is Soviet Union, or in popular word we call it as a communist country. Okay, the most popular communist country, there are two: Russia and China. Okay, these two giant countries. Okay. So the process changing this economy, okay, reform the economic uh, condition, we call it as an economic transition, changing a nation fundamental economic organization and creating entirely new free market institution. Okay, as we heard before, China is quite difficult for foreign investment to come in. Right now, more people are having favor to invest in China. Okay, the transition, okay, typically involves several key reforms. Okay, what are they? The first is stabilizing the economy, reducing budget deficit, and expanding credit availability. Okay. Second, allowing prices to reflect supply and demand. Okay. Third, legalizing private business, selling state-owned companies, and supporting proper property right. Okay. Not anymore controlled by government. Fourth is reducing barrier to trade and investment and allow currency convertibility. Okay. So people might frighten to come to China before. Right now, people are racing towards having traveling or come to China. Okay. So the obstacle. Okay. What are the obstacles? First, the managerial expertise. Okay. In center planning, there was a little need for production, distributing, and marketing strategy because we focus on how to make nation or to give nation sufficient standard of living. So to change over, we need to get everyone certain knowledge, okay, give them knowledge and make sure they are expert in certain area, especially management and also marketing. Okay. Second is shortage of capital. Okay, shortage of capital. The economic transition and development are expensive undertaking. To facilitate the process and ease the pain, government usually spend great deal of money to develop telecommunication, okay, create financial institution, educate people in the ways of market economy. Okay. All right. Next, cultural differences. Okay. Cultural impression of a nation people. We talked already about culture. Okay. To get people evolve, having changed certain cultural values, quite call it as a quite tough, right? Okay, and fourth is sustainability. Okay, social policy of former communist government in Central and Eastern Europe were disastrous for natural environment. So direct effect of environmental destruction were evident in high level of sickness and disease, including asthma, blood deficiencies, and cancer. Okay, so to get some control of this, all of this, right, might slow down the process of transition of this kind of country, or we call it a centrally planned, former centrally planned economies. Okay, next is political risk. Okay, the likelihood that a society will undergo political change that negatively affect local business activity. Okay, some of the sources of uh, risk. Okay, for example, here conflict and violence. Okay, terrorism and kidnapping, riots, chaos, okay, among the people, okay, property seizure, confiscation, expropriation or nationalization, or other things that relate to policy changes also affect our business abroad. Local content requirement, okay, because we talked already about adopting host countries. Uh, Rule and regulations that is very crucial for a company to talk. Okay, managing political risk, how to manage. Okay, how to manage the political risk. First, okay, adaptation. Adaptation. Alright, so adaptation means incorporating risk into business strategy, often with the help of local official. Okay, get someone expert in that particular country and make them as a source of information. Okay. Some ways that you can use to adapt. First, partnership. Okay. Second, localization. Third, development assistance. Or another one is insurance. Okay. This is if you go for adaptation. However, for second, information gathering. Okay, information gathering, which is the firm that going abroad or you doing business overseas. Okay, you need to gather some information that will help them to predict. Okay, help us to predict and manage political risk. Two sources that company use to conduct accurate political risk forecasting. Current employee have worked in country long enough to gain insight into local culture and politics are often good sources of information. People who are expert there. That's why we need to hire some people that fluent enough, good pronunciation in terms of information that they have. So individual who formerly had decision-making authority while on international assignment probably had contact with local politicians and other officials. Second, agency specialized. First, we talk about the individual who work very long time, which is they know already the culture, the way how they do business, okay, the pattern. Another one is we call it as an agency specialized, okay, services. which is bank, political consultant, news publication and risk assessment services. Okay, this is involving the third parties as sources of information. Okay, third, political influence. Okay, using political figure, okay, to get close to that country. Okay, through what? Through lobbying. Okay, policy of hiring people to represent a company views on political matters. Okay, using political influence. All right. Okay, relation between countries. Okay, relation between countries. All right. International relation. Okay, this is way how you get close. Another way. Okay, have good relation by having G to G or country to countries. Okay, government to government. Okay, international relation, favorable and strong political relationship, which is one country to another country having good relationship. Since then you have good relationship to expand your business. Okay, so favorable and strong political relationship foster stable business environment, expand business opportunity, very lower risk, and promote economic development because they have multilateral agreement. Okay. Another one, use United Nations. Okay. In United Nations itself, there are 6 bodies. Okay. The General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice, and also the Secretariat. Okay. This 6 body also play their role. Okay, and also facilitate the process of expanding the business. Okay, all right. Okay, the last part we talk about example of 2 countries that was centrally planned economic. Okay, centrally planned economy. First is China. Okay, second is Russia. Okay, so China, communist after Civil War, 1949. Okay, they began to reform, go to agricultural sector, 1979. Okay, and they expanding or reform by creating the township and village enterprises, 1984. Okay. The challenge for China, political and social problem, unemployment and migrant labor, and reunification of Greater China because China is so huge. Okay. Russia operated under staunchly communist system for 75 years. Okay. So in 1980s, the former Soviet Union entered a new era of freedom of thought, freedom of expression, and economic restructuring. So this country also changed from the centrally planned economy into open or free market economy. Okay, the challenges in for Russia, okay, developing the managerial talent, political instability, and also unstable investment climate. Okay, this is a topic talking about the economic development of nations. So next one, I will talk about uh, international trade. Okay, so I hope I have done for that. So see you next time for another topic. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.